Welcome back. I'm Guy Mount, and we are live, Pinemeadow Live. Gentlemen,
How you doing, Guy?
a post-PGA slash, what do we call it? Our Seattle Whirlwind Tour?
Yeah.
Puget Sound Tour.
Puget Sound Tour.
Puget Sound Tour. Well, it was amazing for us because we went up and we played Salish Cliffs the first day. We played the TPC at Snoqualmie Ridge the second day. And we played Chambers Bay the third day. So if anybody out there has questions on those three courses, ask the question.
Would you agree with that? Snoqualmie TPC was by far one of the coolest experiences that you've had?
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. I'd go back there and play. I play that as a steady diet.
Oh yeah.
It's a course that is,
I'd love
even
to
though there are
there.
houses most of the way around the front side and a little bit on the back side, I'm telling you, it was just laid out beautifully and manicured. I mean, I don't know that I played a course that
It's in that good a condition.
was in that good of conditions, tee to green.
Yeah, I don't think I have either, and I don't think I've ever played in a place where the grandstands were set up. Or
Yeah,
at least
true.
Semi-set up.
The Boeing Classic is being played this weekend,
I think it's
next weekend, and they were setting up the grandstands around the course. And as we're coming up 18, they were setting up, and that's pretty imposing. Those pretty big grandstands, but
Yeah.
that was really cool. And then we played on Saturday at Chambers Bay, and it's going to be interesting to see. I now realize, okay, so you have to walk at Chambers Bay because you can't take carts, so caddy or carry or pull carts. But it was hot and it was long, and then I realized. You know why it was hot and long? Because there is not one damn tree on that whole golf course. Not one. Well, there is one tree, but it certainly doesn't come in any sort of shade or. Think about that. When was the last time you played a course? Well, Bandon Dunes has very
Trails
little.
has plenty of
trees, but
the other two, pretty much.
not really. But
No.
so some was just beaten down on us, but it was totally enjoyable.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, too, because they're talking about how they're starting to grow the grass out. They're not cutting it now.
Talk about that with Chambers Bay.
Oh, it's just the rough, the long, what do you call that kind of grass? Like the
fescue.
fescue. The basically
Straw grass.
starting to, just recently, they're going to not cut it till they open. And I was in it a couple times, and it was pretty easy to get out, but I can't imagine, how many months of growth that is.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty nasty in there.
Well, what they're going to do is they're going to let it go to seed, and then it'll reseed itself, so it'll thicken up considerably.
And did you notice the kind of holes, there wasn't smooth in the rough?
No.
The ball gets caught in there. I don't know how the heck they're
It was
going to play.
50-50 that you'd get a decent line
Yeah.
and stuff.
Well, I was 100% because I moved it, but only when I was on Tyler's team, though.
Because there'd be some cases do you want to even find your ball? The pros, they find it and they have a terrible lie. I mean,
there was a shot.
You always want to find it because if you have a lost ball, you have to go back.
True.
But if your lie is terrible, it might take you 2 or 3 strokes to get out of it.
Well, you
can always take it unplayable.
You take it unplayable.
You can at least drop it there rather than.
But then wouldn't you be
back to
dropping
the tee.
it back in the stuff again?
Oh yeah, you got to be playable within a club length. Club length away.
So I mean,
I don't know the rules.
Yeah. So
there was it was a career shot, I think, for Tyler. We were playing on it was number 15, 14.
Career shot.
And he hit it to the left into the waste bunker. Great drive, but it was into a waste bunker, and there was a tuft of grass that was in the middle of the bunker. These bunkers had fingers that came out, and there was this tuft of grass that was in front of him, and he came up, and it was about that far away from it, and you took out a wedge. I didn't think there was any chance.
I honestly didn't either. I just wanted to see if I could do it.
Yeah. I said, just move it to the side. No, I think I'm going to hit this one. So he did, and he popped it up. I mean, he knocked it on the green. And it was I'm going, I'd have put a $100 bill down in a heartbeat that there's, you're not going to get it out of there, let alone get it on the green.
Yeah, he still 3-putted, but
he didn't need to
gloss
say that.
over that.
Well, he had a career round going. He had 70. All he had to do was
Well, it wasn't a career round, but it was a good round.
It was a good round. Well, you missed so many greens and putts, and still were coming into the final hole, shoot 79. had a little hiccup there on them, leaking a little fluid in the final turn.
Leaking strokes on 18.
Yeah, but it was killer. And our third course we played was Sailor's Cliffs.
Yeah.
Don't ever go there again.
First day. That place was terrible.
I wasn't impressed. Yeah.
Yeah, and it not only was the golf course on a scale of 10, in my opinion, a good solid 4, but the staff.
Oh, the staff was like a 0.
They
Maybe
were,
a 1.
They were horrid.
Just because of that lady.
The lady in the bar, the bartender lady who was the food and the
lunch
beverage, all
lady,
that,
yeah.
lunch lady, all that. She was great. She'd been there for 13 years, wonderful. Everybody else, horrid.
Yeah. It was weird how many. I mean, sometimes you get like one bad egg, but.
Oh, yeah.
You know, what's the saying, like, once is by chance, 2 is coincidence, 3 times is science? There were like 4 people that were just.
Including the beverage cart girl.
Yeah. Her and the head pro and the guy in the pro shop and the guy
greeting you.
Greeter with the bags on the carts. And the starter, too, who didn't understand Rex's very simple joke.
Yeah, and I mean, I thought the guy was basically, when I came up to him, albeit he was probably 70 years old, it looked like he was sound asleep.
Oh, yeah.
It was. And to be told, now get this, you're juxtaposed because the staff at TPC Snoqualmie, they were all so nice and so helpful, and it was really cool. But the first thing you are told by the greeter is, you will not take your carts to your car. Period. Past that sign. Yeah. Oh, hey, have a nice day.
Yeah. And the cool thing about the TPC was that it's a private course, so it wasn't. I mean, they had no reason to even be nice to us,
right?
Really, because I mean, we're probably never. Well, hopefully I'll go there again, but they don't. They probably doubt that we'll ever come back because we got on by exception. And
the pro, the starter,
yeah,
the people that were there. We had a guy come by that was one of the assistant pros who was going to play in the group in front of us. Introduced himself. Actually told us how to hit that one hole on the backside that was a really cool hole. I mean, it was just a wonderful experience, and I don't know. I just rave about that. I go back there in a heartbeat. But we'll go back there and play there. Well, congratulations, and now get your questions in. This is a chance where you can ask us questions. We've cobbled together some questions during the week that we've gotten that pop out as being, and over the last week, what questions are people asking? So we'll answer some of those. But if you have questions, shoot them on our chat on our Pinemeadow Live on the front page. Congratulations to Rory McIlroy. Nice victory. That was
another one.
So I mean,
he's done pretty well in the last 4 or 5 weeks, or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, and Aaron, and you guys, and we had a couple of winners from our
we had quite a few on
our
Facebook.
Contest on Facebook, our Facebook contest.
Yeah, how many people do you think won?
I think there were like 5 on Facebook.
No, so we're giving away 5 Yukon Shallow Face drivers to all those winners. I love it. George Aiken comes in and
makes a pick on Sunday.
Makes a pick on Sunday afternoon as Stinson goes for the lead.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm gonna pick Stinson, and then Stinson goes and starts going backwards and say, oh, maybe I don't want that pick. Well, that was pretty cute. I like that. That was pretty good stuff. Good
Did you
job,
watch the Indian guy?
George, huh?
Did you watch the Indian?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's great.
I went back and forth between NASCAR and golf.
So Tyler, you get lunch. Is that what's going on?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Because he gets the tiebreaker, right?
Yeah. I had the Ricky Fowler tiebreaker.
So where are we going to lunch?
Gosh, really like this place downtown. It's called El Gaucho. Have you guys heard of it?
I'd really like to go there, but I don't think they serve lunch.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think they only serve dinner.
Convenient.
Oh.
I guess that's his pick, and then we're not going.
Yeah.
Funny.
Well,
I'm easy to please.
There's Burger King down the road.
I'll let you guys choose. I'll just
No.
You can pick.
It's 2 things now, and we have to, Tyler. I think we have spent the last 2 or 3 weeks being pretty hard on Tommy.
It's true.
And during our weekend, Golfapalooza, Tommy did come clean and paid up his bet with us.
He did.
Oh, I did. Yeah.
He did.
He paid up on the.
He paid off.
David
I paid it with your money though.
Well,
because I won it, and I just gave back to you.
For him, yes.
Yeah, technically.
For me, no.
But yeah, exactly. But he did.
Yeah.
He did step up.
Somebody on chat suggested Tilt Burger. What's that?
That's
one of it's Portland Burger Week.
Yeah.
And
this
Tilt is the name of a place that's doing the participating in the Burger Week.
Where's our PDX Wire review?
I've never been to Tilt actually. It's one of the
Where's it at?
Northwest.
Well, they have 2 locations actually.
Oh, do they?
There's one in Northwest, and then there's one in like Swan Island, like on
Really?
Anchor Drive.
Well, so these guys are two incredible foodies, so they'll figure something out. They'll figure something out. I'll be along for the ride. Well, let's jump to a question. One of the questions on that we got during the week, Tommy.
Okay. Yeah.
What,
let's go to question 1, Aaron. You want to pull that up?
You got it right now.
Guy's actually must be a friend of yours. He asked, Bob, can I customize the Nitrix Pro set that is on sale? I need to add 1.5 inches in length to clubs to make them extra long. He is 6'8", 39 inches from wrist to floor, 21-year-old big hitter, stiff shafts.
Oh.
Tell Guy Mount they're for my youngest Boswell boy from Sisters High School.
Nice, very nice.
I picked that one because we get that question a lot. The Nitrix Pro set is our basic starter set or complete set that you buy in the box, but people still want to try to customize it because it's a good price. Unfortunately, with that set, we cannot customize it.
We don't custom build that here. We bring that in completed.
Yeah, so we don't have the components to build it here, but you can still piece together a nice set on our site and at a good price.
Oh, especially if you check out any monthly deals.
Yeah,
or
the
any
monthly
clearance
deals.
clubs.
So
Yeah.
we told Bob to check out the Monte Rosas that we'll talk about here in a little bit, and we can customize those stiff flex plus 1.5. But on those box sets, we just can't do that.
Yep. Good question.
So-
And Bob's one of the greatest guys around. And his kids are just great kids. Well, all of our kids grew up together since they were since they were like in 3rd grade. So God, 6'8". I don't remember him as being that tall. Jeez. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
21 and 6'8". That's God, Bob, if you're watching, I hope he's playing basketball.
Good luck finding shoes.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that dovetails into our monthly specials.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about, I don't have a calculator here handy, but if you bought a driver, it's Monte Rosa month, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you looked at, I just picked the hybrid set. The Monte Rosa is a really cool. I don't know if you can you is that
Yeah, you can see that.
you got a view on that?
Yeah.
That's the hybrid. The driver is a full 460 cc 10-degree lofted titanium driver. Just a great look. It's got orange insert. It's got orange accents on all the clubs. I've played the iron set 2 years ago, and then I played the Command last year, and I'm playing the ZR Mark III or the 3.0s this year. So I really like the Monte Rosa because to me it's got more of the classic look. The hybrid is a hybrid. I would classify it as a hybrid wood as opposed to a hybrid iron. We make it in a 3, 4, and 5.
3, 4, and 5.
Right-handed only. The look is pretty classic. The top line on all of them are there's no ridges like the old Mark IIs. Very very classic top, little silk screen. The face is scored away, so it's got the satin finish on front. Not a high polished finish. I would call it more of a satin finish look on the metal. And the iron, to me, the iron is very much a game improvement club. And people, like last week, we got the comment, what's a game improvement club?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's when we can take the weight out of the back and shift it around the perimeter of the club, perimeter weighted, cavity backed. We put a cavity in there, shift that weight around the perimeter, and that puts more mass behind the ball when you hit it. This has a relatively, what I call it a thicker top line, very much, I would call it more Callaway-esque in its look. But the prices, Tommy, talk about the prices.
Right now they're on sale for the monthly deals now till the end of the month. The driver is $74.95, $96, which is 25% off. $75 for a driver, titanium, oversized. Like Guy said, it's Callaway look. You can't beat that. And then you also got the Fairway Woods that are available in a 3 and 5. Those are also 25% off. Sorry, those are 15% off. Those are 42.46 a wood.
Gotcha.
So,
Well, if you
can't
take
beat that.
Well, if you take a look at the hybrid set, the hybrid set,
Mm-hmm.
so you get 3-4 hybrid, graphite shafted, with head covers. Then you get 5 through pitching wedge, right?
Yep.
$149. I mean, excuse me. Yeah, $164. And that qualifies over $72. You get free shipping.
Mm-hmm.
So you get. I mean, we consistently have a great deal with the hybrid set.
Yeah.
So if you're looking to upgrade, if you got a driver you like and a putter you like, you can upgrade and get a couple of hybrids, a new set of irons for $165, free freight, and you could stiff shaft, regular shaft, half-inch over. I mean, you can customize it.
Then the hybrids you can buy separately, and those are also 15% off at $42.46. And the irons can be purchased separately, and those are $127.46. So
Yeah.
if you don't want a whole hybrid set, you can save yourself $40 and get a.
Yeah, 3 through pitching wedge, $127, free freight.
Yeah,
I mean
that's
that's a steal. We got a question, Ustreamer question.
From 752.
Yeah. Which of your wedges would most let's see. I can't. Let me
You got it?
see.
Or you want me to
Yeah,
read it?
I have a question about everybody's favorite golf manufacturer. Must be Warrior Golf. Which one of your wedges would most closely resemble the quote free Warrior Golf wedge? I like my buddies, but I'll never carry a Warrior Golf club. Pull up the Warrior website. You got that in front of you?
Yeah, and then I know the answer for this.
Because normally when I see Warrior product, it normally looks pretty cheap. I mean, that's just kind of how I mean, it's, and this whole free thing, yeah, it's free, except they little asterisk called shipping and handling. So their wedge, when you add shipping and handling, is going to be more expensive. Their wedge that's free is going to be about the same or more, a little bit more expensive than our wedge if you just go buy it. Pretty wild. Truth in advertising.
So I have it up.
'Kay.
I would say, based on looking at their wedges, that the pre-wedge is going to be the closest thing to what they offer.
So what's our pre-wedge?
It's the
$22.95.
$22.95.
Right.
Might even be.
Actually, it might be $19.95.
It might be cheaper. The silver one, I think, is cheaper than the other two, right?
Yeah, we had some on sale for $18 here a while back.
Yeah, so $22.95 is our stock, not stock, but stainless steel version of the pre-wedge.
Right.
The 56 degree was out of stock, but it's actually going to be back in today.
Gotcha.
And then you have the different finish options. You have the bronze wedge and the nickel option too, and those are a little more for $24.95.
I like the look of the pre-wedge. It's really kind of taken off here in the last year and a half. Our standard wedge that is our go-to wedge is our Pinemeadow wedge, and which we have a 52 degree pitching wedge, 56 degree sand wedge, 60 degree lob wedge, 64 degree high lob wedge, and a 68 degree last wedge. We have that in right and left-handed. Those are the ones I'm playing right now. I really like the looks of them, but kind of a throwback to the old Wilson R series. But the new pre-series has really gained some traction here over the last year and a half. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, also if the Pinemeadow wedge has a little bit thicker sole, which
Uh-huh.
I personally don't like.
Right.
And it's not like one's better than the other, because you're a good
It's
player.
different. It's just different.
It's different look.
Well,
And
Tyler,
the
you
wedge
play-
has a little thinner sole, which I think I can pick it cleaner. I feel like
Right.
when chipping, and I don't know, it just has a nice touch and feel.
Tyler, you've got a pre-wedge in your bag, don't you? You like the look of it, obviously.
Love it. Yeah. I do. Yeah, I got the nickel one. It's really, really nice in my opinion.
Nice.
I use it out of every lie pretty much.
The nickel finish is a real classy look. I think
it's
it's
more
got
like satiny,
right,
and there's less glare, which is good.
right. You're going to get more glare off of the copper version. You're going to get virtually none off of the Pinemeadow series, which is that gunmetal a tumble dark finish, and that's just personal preference. Got another question from Ustreamer 153. I love my secret weapon. What is that club modeled after? We have a couple different styles of secret weapon. If you're talking about the secret weapon hybrid, the secret weapon hybrid we make in a 3 and a 4, right-handed only, is patterned after the TaylorMade Railer of a couple years ago. It is really, I would call it's a real strong V sole, good in the rough, good in tight lies, smaller head, probably a cross between a hybrid wood and a hybrid iron, kind of in the middle, but it really has a deep V. If you're taking a look at this club, which would be the Monte Rosa hybrid, see how the base is relatively flat. Well, the secret weapon would probably have a pretty strong V down there with the bottom, the bump. I don't know if you can pull that up, Aaron.
Yeah, it's
have
up
a
right
picture
now.
of it.
Got it.
But the bottom is really kind of a pronounced channel, if you would. I've played it. I really like them.
I think it's cool because it's one of those clubs that we came, like you said, the Railer was how old was that club?
Oh, it was quite a while back.
Yeah, and we came back with it. People love it, but none of the other manufacturers are doing it. So we don't anymore. So it's kind of like our idea, bring it back, and it's working well.
It's I call it more of a performance. It's more of a performance club. They had it out in the same fashion. Better players played it, but that's such a small segment of the marketplace that they kind of focused back on shallow face, wider sole, bigger footprint, easier to hit, because that's what the average golfer is kind of looking for.
Yeah.
And now, of course, the more important question: how did we come up with the name?
How did we come up with
that
it?
game? That game, like you said, has been around for a while, guy.
We've had a secret weapon since, golly, I bet you the late 80s, early 90s.
Wow.
Early 90s, for sure. We did a secret weapon driver that was, originally it was a short hosel because Callaway had patented the no hosel. And so with their original Big Bertha. So we had come out with a secret weapon that had a shape that was bottom that was similar looking, but it had a short hosel as opposed to a no hosel, and that's where the original secret weapon. I think you can still see it on our website.
What's the advantage to a no hosel?
In those days, because that's a great question, Tyler. In those days, we were making them out of stainless steel. Okay, so with titanium titanium obviously existed, but it didn't exist in a golf club. So we can take stainless steel. The maximum size we could get out of a stainless steel driver was like what, 250 cc's?
Barely, yeah.
Barely
Jeez.
250 cc's. Okay, titanium with the same weight. With titanium, we can blow it up into 460 cc's. If we took stainless steel and made a 460 cc driver, it would be like a brick. It would weigh way too much.
So basically getting rid of the hosel just got rid of weight.
Got rid of weight. And because it was a bore through, they had to bore it through. Okay, why? Well, you have to have contact to be able to have the epoxy adhere to the shaft so the shaft doesn't break. So if you have a no hosel, but if you have a no hosel on top with no bore through, you have very, very little contact area. Some of the old wood clubs, like if I look at my old wood Persimmon Power Built Citation 4 wood, it's bore through because that's what they did when they bored through to set the shaft. But they basically said, we're going to have to do a bore through to make the contact area. Now, interestingly enough, Callaway, most people don't know this, in the early years of the Big Bertha, they had an extremely high defective rate because with such little contact area and the end of the graphite shafts, the original graphite shafts weren't strong enough to support a no hosel. And so they had, their defective rate was enormous. So Callaway, and they damn near put them out of business the first couple of years of that club. They went to Aldila and they said, we need to strengthen the tip of our graphite shaft. So Aldila came up with a solution, and that was boron. So they wrapped the tip of their graphite shafts with boron that was incredibly strong but very expensive. You wouldn't wrap a whole shaft. You wrap the first, few inches in boron. Boron had to be kept at 0 degree. I mean, it was really hard to do, but that was Aldila's solution in the early years. That's how they did it. Now, when high modulus graphite came out, they could strengthen graphite by buying high-end graphite. That went away, didn't have to do that. But that was the early issue of, the no bore through. But to your point, the original question was, no hosel was simply taking the weight out of the club so we could blow it up a little bit bigger.
That's a good question, Tyler.
It's a great question.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
So we got a question coming in about hybrids. Ustreamer 941. I'm looking to get a hybrid for the first time and was wondering why the double wall is more expensive than the others.
Double wall is more expensive than the others because it's more expensive to make. We have to weld an interior wall by hand, and it has to be a specific millimeter separation between the front wall and the back wall. So that has to be done in the manufacturing process, and that's more expensive. So we have to add that. The second thing we have to do is the face of the double wall is a different metal as well. So and that's more expensive. So when you combine the two walls together and the technology that we had to do it, just the factories charge us more money for that club, which we then have to turn around and do. Most clubs don't, they have one wall, and it's a 3-piece. It's a face, a sole, and a top, and they're welded together. In this case, we have to stop, and it affects also the hosel bore, the distance, but it's complicated and it's more expensive. Great question.
It's a great club too. I played the 3 hybrid and I love it. So I endorse the double wall.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
I played it in the
you were
past.
striping that 3-wood double wall. You didn't even bother with the driver after the first day.
You were up there with.
I was hitting it further
than
I was hitting it further. I blew by Rex a couple times.
Yeah.
And on his good drive with my 3-wood.
Yeah.
I was having trouble with the driver. It just wasn't happening.
Yeah.
I may go back to the double wall.
The driver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might
Might as well be sponsored by double wall.
That's exactly right. Ustreamer 153. Tyler, what happened to your mustache?
It had its day. I just kind of felt like I needed a fresh start, so I got rid of it. No reason really. I didn't really have any issues or anything. But
We don't need any, no personal.
I don't
thing.
know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe people had an issue with it. I don't know. I didn't hear.
Well,
that.
you had to get down here Saturday night, you and Tommy, for festive events. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, you guys were.
Ended up missing out, but it was okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was
Okay.
a little late to the party, but it was
Yeah.
fine. Another good question. A lot of good questions about golf balls lately. From user 963. Aaron, you want to
Got it?
pull that up and read it off, or you want me to?
Yeah, it says, in addition to swing speed, what other factors should one consider in deciding on what type of ball to use? There are so many choices available.
Boy, I'd agree with you there.
Yeah.
How would you answer that?
I mean,
Tommy?
if you're like a low handicap player and really think like a Pro V is going to help you when you're putting and whatnot, I definitely recommend a Pro V or a softer ball, like a $50. But other than that, if you're just out there playing golf and not worried about the ball, just get like a good $20 box per dozen and enjoy it. I mean, most players, including myself, really can't tell a difference. I can tell a difference from Pro V to a Top Flight, but I couldn't tell a difference between a Top Flight, Titleist DTC, like a...
Right.
I don't know. Do you agree with that?
I was blowing through balls at Salish Cliff. I was going through them like candy, and so finally I'm going like, well, this is getting expensive because they're Pro V1s, and so I had some Nike golf balls in my bag, and you know what? The Nike golf ball, I really couldn't tell the difference, really, in feel. Halfway through the round, I mean, it's one of those things I really couldn't tell. Now I gave you here a couple 3 weeks ago a sleeve of the new TaylorMade ball.
Yeah. They were great.
Are they gone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were only 3 of them though, and I played a lot of rounds in between, so they lasted a good amount of time. But
Do you like them?
yeah, loved them. I still have the. Let's see how many I have. We got those 2 dozen from the March of Dimes.
Right.
I think I'm on the tail end of the first dozen.
And those were
Still got
Nikes.
The fresh one. Yeah, the resin. They're the white, which is like not the tour ball, but the.
I
intermediate.
grabbed one of the white resin and I grabbed one of the titanium resin, and I've not pulled out the titanium. I'll give you guys a sleeve and see what you think. But the thing with the TaylorMade ball, I like the TaylorMade ball. I like the feel of it. I like the way it putted. But it's the same price, damn near, as the Pro V1.
Mm-hmm.
It's $45 a dozen.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if I'm going to buy, I guess the question with the golf ball is, if you drop down, are you going to see a substantial difference between a $20 Callaway ball and a high-end TaylorMade or a high-end Titleist?
Mm-hmm.
For the average, probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not.
I mean, I got another question to add on to his question is, what do you think of the green balls making a comeback? The optic?
Are they?
Yeah.
You mean like the yellow?
Yeah, yellows. Yeah.
Well, Rex in our group played
I
the
played it on-
Shrixon.
yeah.
Did you play the
I
Shrixon
played
too?
Shrixon on Saturday.
I like them.
Yeah, it's easy to find, and with that kind of graph.
I had no problem finding mine because I was always in the fairway. Yeah, not really. So I agree with you. I played that 2 years ago when our friend Scott from Michigan brought out a dozen of those Shrixon, and that was the first year that they had it. I liked it. I liked the feel of it. Mm-hmm. Are they bringing other colors out?
I haven't seen any yet, but I mean.
Okay, I'm going to date you guys from the standpoint that I remember when Ping brought out.
Oh.
Okay, now whatever.
The two multicolours.
Multicolors.
Yeah.
Half of the ball was green, half of it was white, and then half of it was green, or half of it was white, half of it was like yellow, and.
When I was a kid, when we used to go look for golf balls, that was like finding gold. I found one of those. They were
Nice.
so cool.
Well,
I
let
forgot
me ask you a
totally
question.
about those.
Whatever happened to Ping golf balls?
Yeah,
That's an I-Team report, because Ping golf balls, they came out with the golf ball. I don't know if they subbed it out. Knowing Ping, they made it themselves because they've always been so much into their own engineering and so on and so forth. I'm kind of interested to find out. They dropped golf balls totally. And subsequent to that, Bridgestone came into the business, Shrixon, all the Nike golf balls.
Yeah.
They're half orange and half yellow, what I'm seeing. Or I guess
There was
They had a bunch of
color,
them.
Yeah.
Well, 'cause I'm
I'll
on
throw a picture
eBay.
on eBay.
Why would you ever make a green golf ball?
It was just.
Well,
That's like a terrible idea.
Well, we have the camo. Okay, we have the Realtree camo bag, and we have the Real Creek camo driver. And there's a
Camo
gentleman
ball.
that I know that you all know who said, "Well, we should come out with a camo ball." Going like, seriously?
yeah.
I can barely find my golf ball right now.
Yeah.
How are you going to put that thing into the rough and find it?
Yeah.
Did he say that's the point because then you sell more golf balls?
Well, that's
Ah,
yeah. Oh,
They're thinking.
So on eBay they have like and I've seen this on other items. They'll write articles about certain types of items and like what to look for, because people on eBay are always like looking for collectible items and things. So they give like this summary of the Ping balls and
Right.
which ones are more more valuable and more rare.
yeah.
It looks like the normal ones are like yellow, and then there's ones that are yellow and orange. But then the really rare ones are like purple and yellow, and blue and gold.
Really?
Well, those golf balls have got to be somewhere. It's not like they're
Well,
gonna.
did they
they're
just
not
go out,
biodegradable, are
did they just stop manufacturing? I mean, I don't know. Did they have someone else manufacture them for them? I don't know.
I don't know. They're
Yeah.
called the Ping Eye 2, or the third one is. Let's see.
Huh.
First one is called the Eye, has an eye on the equator, and then
Yeah, the Ping
There's
Eye.
the
That's
eye,
right.
too.
Right. I remember that. That's okay. Now it's coming back. So,
another question, guy. From
fire
the
another question.
Email. Yeah.
Yep.
So this was a good one from Jeff Ledbetter. Question number 2, Aaron, you got it? Do you offer petite ladies clubs for someone about 5 feet tall? I'd be looking for a complete set for my daughter, 12 years old. That is a decent set, but not super expensive, just in case she decides not to stick with the game long term. What would you recommend?
Hey, Aaron, how would you answer that one?
Petite golf set.
Yeah.
My mic's not on, sorry. Well, the thing, it's going to be a little hard for the petite, just because if you're starting out, I mean, usually I recommend the nitrics just because it's low barrier to entry. And, if it's not going to work out, then, it's not too much of a loss as far as money-wise. Gosh, you could build a set of Monterosas cut down.
Well, that's what I was
on
just thinking.
sale.
You could take the Monterosas. You could put a ladies' graphite shaft in it.
Mm-hmm.
Petite is 1 inch under.
Yeah.
And ladies is 1 inch under men's. So a petite ladies would be 2 inches under what a men's shaft would be, which is only about that distance. So if you've got a 12-year-old that's of reasonable, 5 foot, even if you've got a woman who's 5 foot.
Yeah, I've had adult women 5 foot order
would want
men's
a petite.
ladies -1, no problem.
Ladies -1. We could build this in a ladies -1. You could cobble together a set and grab her a bag for under a couple $100 if you wanted to do it that way. That, I think, to your point, I would tend to, with a 12-year-old, I do the Nitrix lady and have her choke down a little bit until she gets comfortable with it. Then I'd move to this, because you're really only going to be spending $175 or what's the Nitrix ladies right now? And they were on sale last month, but I don't think they're on sale this month.
What the Nitrix ladies?
Yeah.
$199.
$199.
$199 free shipping. So you're gonna get a driver, a 3-wood, a hybrid, a couple 3-irons, putter, bag, head covers. You're gonna get all that for $199, and it's gonna be free shipping. So to me, that for a 12-year-old that's just getting going and not a huge investment, that would be what I'd do. And I'd basically say, hey, choke down on them, because you're only choking down that much. And I choke down on like my 3-wood. I normally choke down a 1/2 inch anyway. So I wouldn't really worry about that, especially at the age she's at. What I would be more comfortable with is that you got the right shaft and a true ladies where she's going to be able to create some flex and she's going to get the ball out there. That'd be kind of what I'd be focused on.
Another thing to consider is that you really don't need a driver at that age. Possibly.
Yeah, good point.
Just go 3-wood, so that could save you a lot of money. Just skip the driver and go with 3-wood and add a hybrid
Well,
set.
and that Nitrix set's got a 3-wood. It's got a driver and a 3-wood.
Yeah.
So to me, it's easier. You get the ball up in the air. That's what I think is really important, is they see success. And success is flight. Now, the flight may be off to the right or off to the left, but if they're topping the ball or they're not hitting it, but boy, there's nothing better than seeing something fly up into the air. That's the.
I can attest to that. I'm just happy to see it move. Jeez.
Aaron, the Pinemeadow golf tournament's coming up.
I know. I got to start hitting again.
Yeah, we got to get you. We got to get you dialed in. Has any of our teams won?
I'm going to this year.
I've
Rex and I are in the same squad.
That's BS.
That's
boy.
stacking the groove.
Jeez.
How'd that happen?
I didn't make him.
I didn't make them either.
You got to talk to Becky. I think she had it to do
No.
with it. Yeah.
I don't think we need
I
something.
won one year. Actually, no. Because I think Dean was gone. I think the only year I won when Dean was gone.
Yeah, Dean's won. Pretty much his team wins every year
exactly.
on his score.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
He shoots like 500 by himself. There.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, let's pull up another question. Question number 3.
Okay, where is it?
I got it.
Okay.
This one is from Conrad. It says, which of your fairway woods are more like Callaway X2 hot fairway woods, and do your fairway woods have a changeable face? Well, I've never heard of a changeable face.
Changeable
Changeable
face.
face.
That's what it says.
Yeah, that's what.
Oh.
Yeah, I think there's some that you have like a face you can beat
Oh,
up the face you can get.
I've heard a little bit of that. How would you answer that, Tyler? What do we have that looks like the X2?
3.0s?
Yeah, I would say that'd probably be the closest.
And no, we don't have a changeable face, just like we don't have an adjustable hosel, because a lot of these adjustable hosels have turned out to be terribly misrepresented in the actual, lofting and lying that they are alleging that you can get. Now, Tyler's got one in his hybrid? or is 3 wood?
For what?
The adjustable.
I don't have that anymore. I sold it.
Okay, but
Sold
I
But
sold
you-
it after I got the 3.0.
Nice.
3. But you basically you had it where it was and you didn't really adjust it. Once
I
you
know I had moved it lower because it was a 3 hybrid and I already had a 4, so I wanted a 2 and a 4, so I moved it to lower so the 3 hybrid would play.
But once you changed it, you really never changed it again, right?
yeah,
So you really could have bought a 2 hybrid and called it good.
yeah, and that's what I did when I got the 3.0s. I just got a 2,
Yeah.
and then got rid of it. But I didn't buy the adjustable one. I got it as a gift.
Gotcha.
So.
Totally understand.
So yeah, the 3.0 would be a good 3-wood, and also the QTI, I would say. for
Yeah,
that.
QTI is good looking club.
Mhm.
It's got a great. I think it sets on the ground really nicely.
And obviously the double wall 3-wood that we've been talking about would be always a good
Hey,
choice.
that double wall 3 wood. I don't know that you're ever going to get that out of my bag. It's just it's really got a to me it's got a classic look. It's a player's club, but with that double wall, for some reason it just launches the ball. Great ball flight. Nothing. It's not too high. It's not too low.
Yep.
It's pretty much standard ball flight. But boy, that club does that goes.
I'll get some more questions coming in on chat. From Ustreamer 250. Aaron, do you see that one? It says, ask, I'm playing in a Sports Authority golf tournament in a couple of weeks. Can you get me some free sample clubs sent to Denver in time?
Sure. Let us know. Let us know. Let us know. Definitely.
If you can get us our clubs into Sports Authority, we can give you some free clubs.
Yeah, exactly. Call in and talk to Tommy. We'll figure something out. Guy recommends choking down at clubs that are too long for someone. What do you think about purposely buying long so you can choke down always and then use the full club for downhill lies? Well, essentially, that's what I do with my irons. I always, when I have clubs built here, I normally take my irons and have them built plus ½ inch. And that allows me just a little extra length on the downhill lie. I needed it a couple times on those side hill shots at TPC Snoqualmie. I had a couple of wedges in and a couple of irons in where the ball was below my feet, and I had to really reach down. So if that extra ½ inch that did make a difference. There's no question about that. Sure, choking down on clubs that are too long. I mean, I think you should do that anyway. I do it on my 3-wood for control. If I'm trying to hit it easy, I'll choke down a little bit and take an easy full swing, not a hard full swing. If I want to hit, if I'm kind of in the middle where it's a 5-wood, but I don't have my 2 hybrid or whatever, and I don't think I get my 3 hybrid there, I'll back off a little bit on a 3-wood by choking down. Plus, I think it's easier to move the ball, hook it or slice it for me if I do that. Swinging a little bit easier. So that's how I'd answer that one. What do you think?
I don't like my clubs when they're longer. I hate choking down. I don't know if it's just like
I would
I have
agree
no
with
touch
that.
too. Keep that in mind. So I can't do like.
Well, true.
So it's either
yeah,
go big or
so
go home.
Ustreamer 250 is Eric. Eric Peterson. Okay, Peterson, you get free golf clubs anyway. Jeez,
Who's that?
he's Tucker's partner.
Oh.
Yeah, and he lives in Colorado Springs. So yeah, of course you can get clubs, Eric. Golly.
Yeah, it's Sports Authority golf
For a
tournament.
couple
Eric, we haven't
weeks.
seen that on the. We're
We
still
haven't seen it on
waiting for the PO. Eric.
we haven't seen it on the sales report.
Where's our invite too?
Well, I don't know that we want that invite. That could be an expensive invite.
Oh, okay.
Well, we go down there and win it, and then they're like, "Oh, what kind of clubs you playing?" Pinemeadow.
We
Yeah,
win it.
yep,
we
yep,
can
yep.
trip.
Okay. Another question?
Yeah, let's go another question. Let's see here. Aaron, you got one you want to pick? I'm sorry. I'm not on screen.
Peterson. Which one we have? Which question we got?
On number 4.
Oh, hey, while we're doing
Yeah,
that,
it's number 4. Yeah.
while we're waiting on that, and we're going to do that, Phil Mickelson earns a Ryder Cup slot. So this last weekend had to throw the Ryder Cup thing all up in.
Well, it was the last week for points.
Yeah. So
So-
so what? Top 9. So Zach Johnson squeaked in as number 9. There, your boy Patrick Reed. He came in 8.
Oh, he's in.
Spieth 7, Kuchar 6, Mickelson 5, Walker 4, Furyk 3, Fowler, and Bubba Watson number 1. I wouldn't have guessed Bubba to be number 1, but so
But
9
he
are
won
odd.
so much because it's over. It's not just this year; it's into last year.
Into
too.
last year too.
So, and I mean, winning the Masters obviously was huge, and
Oh, yeah.
he had a couple other big ones.
So the top 9 automatically qualify for the U.S. Ryder Cup team. Tom Watson holds 3 captains picks, and he's got to make those selections by September 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
So, can you believe this? I mean, is it just me? So Tiger pulls out, and that was another. I mean, he didn't pull out, but he didn't qualify for the final, 2 rounds. And you know what Tom Watson said? It's still up to Tiger whether he's mentally capable or physically capable of playing on the Ryder Cup team.
Well, I saw his presser, and it was interesting. They were talking about Tiger, and then he was like, I'm looking for the players who want to earn their spot on the team, and he said he got a bunch of texts from players. Tom Watson did, and he's like, one of them said, I got a new driver, and I'm gonna play my way onto the team. And so one of the reporters asked, was that Tiger? and he goes, it wasn't Tiger, but Tiger did say that he wants to be on the team. So,
well, I want to be on the team too,
Yeah, I
but
know.
it ain't gonna happen.
I mean,
Okay.
I'm looking at the standings right now.
I think
and-
Verdi, wasn't it? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. I
was saying, I think Verdi was on Dan Patrick's show, and Dan asked him, is there any way Tiger can make the team? And Verdi said, probably not. The only way he could is maybe if you flew to see Tom Watson somewhere, played a couple rounds with him, showed him that he's healthy, he can do it, and played lights out or something. I mean,
Well, he was
Slim
supposedly
chance.
good to go at Valhalla too, and
Yeah.
at the end of the second, halfway, or he knew warming up the second round on the practice range that it wasn't going to work, and so on and so forth. I mean, either your back is hurt or it's not, and either that. I mean, I don't know what the real story is, but I don't know how you can take a guy like Ryan Moore or Keegan Bradley or someone like that who's actually earned a spot and potentially played your way into the top 10 or 15, and how do you not give one of those guys a shot over someone who's hurt?
Yeah, totally agree.
I mean, it's not like these guys have, Duffner, Ryan Moore, Brendan Todd, Keegan Bradley. It's not like those guys haven't earned their way to play.
Yeah, I mean, I think our top 9 are the top 9 guys right now. I mean, all those guys are in good form.
Totally. Well, Furyk, Fowler,
Yeah.
Vic Mickelson, I mean, they're all playing, Patrick Reed, they're all playing awesome
Yeah.
golf. And, can you explain to me, Tyler, because they're saying that, the American team doesn't have a chance. That's a pretty good lineup against anybody, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true. But I mean, you kind of got to look back to the last Ryder Cup and what happened there.
Well, we
Because
kind
at
of,
the end of the day,
it was a train wreck. but-
talent still, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think this year might be different. They're going to really have a chip on their shoulder after the last result, but it's also in Europe, so that already tilts it in their favor. And I mean, they've got a lot of guys playing really well too. Think about Sergio and Rory, those kind of guys that are on their squad. I mean, they're probably better than most of the guys on our team too. So
True, but if you drop down to their number 6, 7, 8, I mean, okay, you got Stenson, you got McIlroy, you've got. It'd be interesting to see their side of the coin too.
Yeah.
Garcia. But then that would be kind of an interesting,
Yeah.
to look at it. But we still have a pretty good. I think we got a pretty good lineup.
Yeah.
I think also it's how they're playing. I mean, how are they going to be playing?
When being the underdog might be nice.
Yeah,
Maybe-
and the course,
Yeah.
and the weather and all that. Just it's hard to say.
There's breaking news. Tiger and Rory going to be on the Tonight Show
I saw that today.
on
Yeah.
Monday. Yeah.
Wonder if Tiger's going to be coming in a back brace.
Rory's be pushing him in
In a
on his wheelchair.
Uh,
Actually, it'd be interesting to see if Tiger loosens up a little bit. Because he's always so serious and very. I mean, and Fallon obviously maybe can make him laugh, people laugh or something. I don't know.
Boy, if he wants to warm up to the if he wants to warm up to the public,
Yeah, this
that's
is
a great
perfect.
way to do
Yeah.
it. And Rory, I mean, have you guys seen? My trusty assistant Diana sent me a video on Rory that is absolutely hysterical. I got to send it to you guys. Maybe we'll play it next time. It's Rory against the robot.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, you got to see this. We'll save that for next week, but you guys got to see it. It's really, really funny. Ustreamer 752, is Kuchar going to play? I thought he was hurt. Yeah, he pulled out because of a back injury. God, that's sort of a flavor du jour back deal, but wasn't it a back that he...
I'm not sure. Do
I
you
think
know
it
what
was.
Kuchar
Kuchar?
is hurt?
I haven't heard about
He
that.
pulled out of the PGA.
I'm sorry, I'm busy. I'm looking up the
Give me back, yeah.
the European who's in for them so far. Theirs doesn't lock until the end of August.
Okay.
At the end of the European Tour race.
Who's on
by.
it? Do you have a list?
So I can
temporary?
tell you, at this point,
Right.
their 9 would be McIlroy, Stenson. Well, McIlroy he has like twice as many points as anybody else. By
Gee,
the way.
surprise.
McIlroy, Stenson, Dubuisson, Garcia, Rose, Keimer, Thomas Bjorn, Jamie Donaldson, Graham McDowell.
Well,
I hope longer.
And then 3 captain's picks after that, which you'd be an idiot not to take, like Poulter.
right.
Um,
Bernie.
Yeah, they're talking about
The
it. That'd be
mechanic
awesome.
is
I think it'd be
available.
really cool.
yeah.
Oh, wouldn't you? He's playing so well.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, but Dubuisson's
Wait,
not.
who are you talking about?
Dubuisson's not playing that great
Bernie?
right now.
Yeah.
Who's
Bernard,
Bernie?
Bernard Longer.
Oh,
Dubuisson's not playing that well right now. A couple of those guys haven't played well lately. So much like our guys. I mean, Keimer was lights out at the U.S. Open, but he hasn't necessarily played enormously well since then. I mean, maybe it's a U.S. Open.
Not bad at the PGA.
Really?
But I don't
Huh.
know, I'd have to
Well, I might be nuts on that.
So we have a couple minutes left. So if you have any last minute questions you want to throw up on chat, we'll answer them.
Hey, you got question number 4. Got question
Aaron
4
has
up there?
question number 4. He's gonna whip off.
I also got a news update I was going to mention too. I know Nathan has talked about the golf club game.
Yeah.
Many episodes back because we've been waiting for that to come out.
Oh, yeah.
They have a final release date, so August 19th for the Xbox One and PC, and then they said before the end of August for the PS4. I think it's still going through certification, but it'll be $35, and that's coming out here in a couple weeks.
And not sponsored by anybody.
No, this is independent studio, no licensed anything, but
Wow.
it's a gorgeous looking game and lots of cool customization.
Have you done any?
courses.
Are they doing any beta thing going on, or?
That's been going through on Steam's early access, and so I think they worked out all the kinks, and so the official final version's coming out here in about a week.
Very nice.
Yeah. So anyway, I can go to question 4 now. If you want.
Hey, awesome.
Do you want to read it?
Yep, go for it.
Go for it. Yeah, you have it up.
Go for it, Aaron.
It says, I have a fitting question. I'm interested in getting a new set of clubs, and I feel I may be in between a stiff and a regular flex shaft. I currently use a cheap Top Flight XL complete set for clubs. My drives are 240 to 280, total including roll and bounce. I hit a 9-iron around 130. I do not know how fast in mile per hour I swing. I would be getting a standard length. That's from Brad.
I mean, he's got to go stiff. I mean,
I'd err on the stiff side.
Yeah, I mean, hitting 240,
9-iron.
280 drives and 9-iron 130.
A 9-iron 130s, which is about what I hit mine. You know, drives, I'm probably fairly similar. So, yeah, I'd go the stiff shaft. My philosophy is to always err on the stiff side. Stiff will give you more control, may not give you as much distance, but for me personally, I'll sacrifice a little bit of distance to maintain control. So, you know, that's kind of how I look at it. So if you're on the edge, go the stiff side. I don't think you're going to be radically affected one way or the other. Okay.
All right.
Well, I think this week we've got the Wyndham Golf Championship in Greensboro, North Carolina. Patrick Reed, your guy Aaron, is defending champion, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Why don't we look? I think we're going to we're going to offer something special next week. So when for everybody who's listening, we're going to offer a Pinemeadow Live exclusive deal that has to be done by the end of the day for our show next week. So I want everybody to stay tuned for that. Tommy, Tommy's been talking about that, so we're going to execute on that. He loves to give away free stuff. May not be free, but it's going to be a swinging deal that'll be equivalent of being free. But I'm just really impressed with the victory. I mean, to pick the top 2, to go out the door with the number 1.
Technically, Fowler got third because
Well,
he had that.
That was like
that's
that was
right.
like a $300,000 putt he missed.
Yeah, it was.
Ooh.
We would have tied for second instead of third.
Yeah.
But.
Hey, that was pretty impressive. So I got to give you that. So,
Well, and factoid, you saw he was the only player. He's now the only player other than Jack and Tiger to finish top 5 in every major of 1 year.
oh,
Wow.
really?
Yeah, and Jack and Tiger each did it twice, but
That's a nice little stat of the day.
Yeah.
Stat of the day, stat of the
Seriously.
day.
Yeah, that
I mean
is
that's like
that's pretty
unbelievable.
amazing.
He went T5 at the Masters, T2 at both the British and the U.S. Open, and then third at the PGA.
Well, I picked Phil, and I did pretty good. But I was coming down the stretch, those final 3
Gotta
holes.
pull for Ricky.
I was pulling for Ricky big time.
Yeah.
And when Rory hit it in the trap, I'm going, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then he hits it out of the trap 10 feet. I'm going, well, this dog won't hunt. We're done. You know, there's no way he can lose after that. That was the opening. And how he hit that club would determine whether, in my opinion, whether he was going to win or lose. And, you know, it was pretty amazing. I mean, the other thing was the follow-up to it on the 18th hole where the skies were, it was going to start to thunder and it was getting dark. And
Yeah, I couldn't believe how bright they made it. They could make it look with the cameras.
yeah.
Because they said it was really
I mean,
It's
then they
dark.
they showed it without the irises being open or whatever they referred to it as, and it was like really dark.
Dark.
Like,
Well,
you
and
couldn't play in that.
I saw the pictures of him holding the trophy on the
Yeah.
18th hole, and I mean, it was pitch black.
Yeah.
And I don't know how combination of that time of the night and also the fact that the clouds were coming in and they were worried about thunder and lightning and rain.
And the morning after was bad forecast too, which
Really?
is where they would have finished and then maybe done a playoff if it would have happened.
Yeah. So I
they
guess
wanted to finish it.
Phil and Ricky, Phil specifically, were upset about allowing the
Yeah.
final group to play up.
Ricky wasn't upset. Phil was a little bit tiffed by it, but
Yeah.
but it didn't seem like he was being that big of an ass about it. But he did make a comment.
Well, I had to stand back on the tee. I had to be for quite a while before I hit my tee shots. I wanted them to do the same thing on the final hole,
Yeah.
the final round, because I do agree that if you hurry up in that kind of environment, you do eliminate just a little bit of stress in the commotion of hurrying up. Where if you're back there gnawing on it for 10 minutes, thinking about that driver, thinking about, I mean, look at us at Chambers Bay, you know? I mean, you're
Yeah.
sitting in the fairway twiddling your thumb for 15 minutes waiting for you, and I mean, it affects you.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, it's this, the game is strategy and all that kind of stuff. So it's,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of interesting.
They came out already, and Rory's a 5-1 favorite for the Masters in April. Never too early to.
Yeah, to jump right out there and yeah. Well, thanks for everybody being part of Pinemeadow Live. We'll be back here same time, same place next week, 11 a.m. Pacific Coast time, and with a swinging deal. So until then, from all of us, thanks for being a part of Pinemeadow Live.
Thanks.